voyage, for those of you that don't talk ship, that's the first voyage of the boat. I don't think okay, hold on. I know how to talk to everyone down to their level. Message at crowd. A maiden voyage is the first voyage. Ship emoji, salute emoji, heart emoji, hashtag you didn't know you were going to learn something at a panel, hashtag the captain is awesome. And send. See? I know how to talk their language.
And repost.
Captain, you are so well dressed in the social media. I just signed up for the TikTok. I love it. What's your handle?
What?
What's your handle?
I don't have a handle. I have a spout.
Oh, Captain!
Yeah, man. What the hell are you talking about? Anyway, I want to go bigger and better. I want champagne popping. I want crowds cheering, just like the good old days.
The good old days,
I miss
yes.
it. But that's what's going to happen. Oh, look, wait.
Oh, Captain.
Yeah.
I must say your aft is looking quite...
Hey,
This photograph.
don't look at my aft. Look at that. I know. See, I have a problem with this photograph right here. That was the old days, the old me. I mean, I looked polished on the outside, right? But deep inside, I was actually rotting away. You know? It was like, so it's a lie. It's all a lie. Kind of like a
He
myth.
approved this photo and said he liked how young he looked.
No,
That is the truth.
it's a myth, a complete urban myth. But everyone kind of believed it. So, you know, it was a very common urban myth. And sometimes when I get drunk, I mix the words up and it becomes an urban common myth. See what I did there? Oh, you don't know. None of you.
Well, I must say, Captain, I find you much more attractive now.
Oh. Yeah, that's kind of awkward.
Is that graceful gale around the
I
hustle?
don't feel the same way. Let me.
I'll break the awkward
Yeah, because
tension.
I don't remember swiping right.
Well, Captain, I think, we heard that recently you received a promotion. Congratulations.
Thank you. So, I am in better shape than ever. And, I'm giving a secret away. There is a promotion in the works to Admiral.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And, what I'm thinking is that I'm going to audition people to be captains. So I can be admiral and sit back and watch the assistant to the regional manager of Dunder Mifflin. That kind of thing, you know? Yeah.
Any captains in the house or any aspiring captains?
I don't care, anyone. Like, you could, any race, any religion, any gender, any sexual orientation, I don't care. All you have to do is to fill these shoes that 24 hours ago were black, but Hannah did a great job of making them white. I gotta say, spray paint does amazing things.
She did a great
Behind the scenes
job.
there for you all.
I don't think they look like such hard shoes to fill.
Wow, you went there. Okay, fine. Show me your best captain. There you go. Go on. Yeah, next. that was.
Open the gates.
Right there. That's all you have to. You had one job. You blew it. That's your only chance you get. Nope. No captains. I'm sure there's someone out there who wants to be captain, so I can be admiral. Yeah. Then all I gotta do is sit back and do nothing. Wait, that's what I've always done.
Indeed.
Wow. So all we gotta do is just work out some health benefit things and some 401k contributions, but I think it's a done deal. Sound good to you?
Indeed.
Okay.
I'm for anything.
Do you guys remember these?
The bloody tokens, Captain! I tell you, Amy, people went bonkers for these tokens. I was
Sure did.
accosted nightly for a token. It was
Amy.
great fun.
Amy, last time I was on this stage, I almost got into a fight, and I promised myself I wouldn't do that this year. But you just brought up the tokens, and I swear to you,
Trigger! It's a trigger.
I will throw hands, and I'll throw hands old-timey style to show that I'm serious.
Now calm down, Captain. I believe...
Not the old-timey style, no!
I believe that Maestro Bertolino has a plan. this year?
Well, first of all, I'm not surprised to hear you both say that. I remember 2018 when the secret bars started. What a fantastic innovation. These secret bars, it really was so cool. It wasn't something that was happening at many haunted houses in the country, or let alone the world. It was really revolutionary. But for the actors, I remember sometimes going to hand them the bag of tokens that they were going to give out that night, and there was often actors like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And so I think somewhat what you're saying is instead of them being able to incorporate the tokens at times, it really detracted from their scares and their characters, because guests, instead of interacting with the two of you or getting scared by Slider coming through, the guest was always asking for tokens.
Yes, some of them were just there for the booze.
And I don't blame them, because I'll have a drink now and then, but I think that there might be a way we can keep the tokens, but do this in a better way so we don't detract from the show.
So another problem that happened in the past was sometimes fans didn't get to go into a secret bar. You never knew if you would be one of the people that received a token. Who here has been at a secret bar at Dark Harbor?
I mean, I never left them, to be honest.
Well, we are bringing back the secret bars this year. There will be 4 different speakeasies at the event. They are going to be both on the ship and in the harbor. There are going to be some that are in mazes, and there are going to be some that are in realms on the land. And there are still going to be tokens that are given out by actors. But we're going to change it up a little bit this year. The captain talked about making opening the gates a bigger experience. Each night there's going to be a maiden voyage launch party, and that is where our monsters are going to give out these complimentary tokens to everybody that's there at the beginning of the night. That's your opportunity to get a complimentary token. But there's also going to be an opportunity for a small fee to purchase a token from Lady Mabel. Lady Mabel is a psychic that you're going to learn a little bit more about this season, but the idea is that if you want to go to a secret bar, you can guarantee yourself admission. So, I came across the country to see Dark Harbor. The first time I came, I only bought a general admission ticket, and I missed 2 mazes. This is a very popular event. So this is a way to both continue the tradition of giving out the free tokens, but to also take a little bit of the pressure off the actors so that after the maiden voyage party, they can be those monsters that you want. They can be unpredictable, and they can focus on the scare. We'll talk a little bit more about this in the coming months, but we're really excited to bring back this program, to bring back the speakeasies, and to continue this tradition at Dark Harbor.
And here's what I like about it, Brett. Here's what I like about it, is that you have the option now to come straight into the gates and then go straight to one of the bars, because so often those bars would be empty for the first half of the night because you're all trying to find tokens and no one ever made it to the bars.
It's an insider tip,
Right?
children.
So this way, if you just want to come to Dark Harbor and drink straight away, although I don't know why you would, you can do that, or just do what you normally do and pre-game out in the parking lot. You know I know.
Children, if you visit us down on the main floor in the grand ballroom, these t-shirts are only available this weekend with our lovely medium on there. So you must go immediately after this panel, run down there quickly, and get one of these exclusive t-shirts.
Wow.
You seem very underwhelmed by that.
Again, sales. Don't do sales. Yeah, it's not for you.
I'll stay in the showbiz.
Well, thank you, Ringmaster and Captain, for coming out today. And I do hope that if you guys have not visited the booth yet, please come down and see them. Get your selfie, ask a question. You never know what the answer will be.
Lovely to see you, children. And remember, say it with me, do something every day that scares you.
We'll see you at Dark Harbor in 2024.
Let's hear it!
Do we have any Lullaby fans in the house?
I know I've seen that video so many times, and still that Scary Mary popped out and got me at the end there.
So earlier Amy asked Chris, what are some of the challenges of bringing back Dark Harbor? Dark Harbor hasn't existed in 4 years. A lot has changed in 4 years. The Queen Mary was closed for 3 Halloweens. Just a few years ago, that would almost seem unthinkable. So when we first started planning Dark Harbor, the first thing we had to do was to really understand what are the physical constraints that we had to work around. We know that the mazes on the ship are really popular, and we wanted to fit 3 really big mazes on the ship. Now, a lot has changed on the ship since 2019. Some of the areas that were formerly used for mazes are no longer available to us. They're used for other year-round uses. The Queen Mary's really successful. And the other thing that's a big challenge for us is most of the physical assets from the past events have been lost over the course of that 4 years. The mazes don't exist in the ship anymore. A lot of the assets were left. So we were really excited to find those icon character costumes in the belly of the ship. And there's a few other items that remain from 2019 that we'll talk about at another time. I'll leave you a little bit of a mystery there. But as we were planning the mazes on the ship, we knew that we wanted to bring back Lullaby. Lullaby has always been a really popular maze. Scary Mary is a favorite icon character. And I thought back to, my experience at Dark Harbor, and we talked to lots of fans, but people always mention certain things. 2 of those things about the ship mazes are the dropping bridge over the boiler room. Who's been on that bridge? This fall, when you go through Lullaby, you have a chance to walk across that bridge again if you dare.
If you dare.
And, the ship has so many cool, unique architectural features. We wanted to make sure that we took advantage of them as much as possible in the mazes. I remember years ago, the path for some of the Dark Harbor mazes actually went through the pool. The pool is not accessible to the public right now, so we can't this year take you into the real pool. We have a picture of it here. But what I can tell you and give you a little preview of the Lullaby maze is, we are not going to step into the pool as a visitor, but you are going to look into the actual pool, and there is going to be a scene in the maze with actors in the pool area where you're going to get to see the authentic pool. So we can't take you in this year, but we want to make sure that we're highlighting that architecture as much as possible, and we want to continue to tell the stories of the past. And so that's why we wanted to make sure that Lullaby was part of this year's event. So it's the same story as the past, but it's a completely new path, it's a completely new maze, completely new sets.
I think many of you are probably familiar with the fact that so many of the Dark Harbor stories are based around paranormal activity aboard the Queen Mary. It is well known and thought that the first class swimming pool and the adjacent dressing rooms are a vortex, meaning that paranormal activity centers in this space. This is something I know paranormal investigators have searched so many times, and it's based on a ghost that they have met named Jackie. While I knew about Jackie for a long time, I recently was on one of the evening paranormal tours at the Queen Mary, which I highly, highly recommend. Great for family, great for date nights. Real spooky. You get nice together, close, and you learn so much about the Queen Mary. But my tour guide, who was awesome, talked about one of the Jackie stories, when she was a little girl, was there with her little sister. Mom took them to see the Queen Mary, and she was standing in front of the door of the first class swimming pool, and her mom said to her and her sister, "Stand here, I'm gonna take a picture." And the mother backed up to take the photo. And the tour guide told us, as her mother backed up, she and her sister heard, "Let me out," in the voice of a little girl, which she is a child, and her sister immediately ran out of the photo after they heard that voice. And then they were worried and saying to their mom, we heard a little girl say, let us out, let me out, let me out. And that's just one of the many sightings of Jackie aboard the ship. Jackie is really part of the inspiration of Scary Mary. We're excited this fall to introduce you to some more family members of Scary Mary, as well as some ghostly ship staff. So we're very excited about Lullaby. So I remember Lullaby in 2018 and people running out of this maze as it was very scary. And a lot of times when people are scared at a haunted house, you hear them come out and they're, oh my God, oh my God. They catch their breath and then they're like, tacos! Meat, like comfort food. It's important to have comfort food at Halloween events. Brett, is there gonna be food at Dog Harbor this year?
There's going to be lots of food. There's going to be lots of beverages, of course. But we are working to bring back some of the favorite food options from Dark Harbor in the past. So El Diablo's Tacos is coming back. Scary Mary's Ice Cream is coming back. And then we're also bringing new food concepts, new bar concepts. So again, a mix of some of your favorite elements from the past, but also some new cutting edge things as well. And I think one of the great things about Dark Harbor is it truly is a giant Halloween festival. The mazes are the star of the show, the monsters are the star of the show, but when you're here at night, you go through a maze. Maybe you have a drink, you go on a ride, you have a drink, you go have something to eat, maybe you have another drink, and then maybe you see some of our stellar entertainment. And speaking of entertainment, I want to bring to the stage one of our performance managers, Looney, to tell you about what we have in store this year.
Welcome, Looney. I'm so excited to see you. Looney, I'm so excited to see you here. I remember working with you 2018. It's awesome to have you up on stage.
Thank you. It's great to be up here.
So tell us, what's going on in the streets this year, the entertainment at Dark Harbor?
So this year for Streets, we are definitely going to bring it out there, per usual. So we will have fire out there. We will also have Voodoo Stomp out there. We will have still walkers out there, and we are also bringing chainsaws out as well.
Chainsaws to the streets of Dark Harbor.
Gotta bring them out.
All right, sounds like that's one way. We're bringing it up. Let's go!
Anything else, Looney? I feel like you're holding back on us.
A little bit. So we will be bringing back the famous Dark Harbor show for the Sliders. We will be having 2 shows a night. So make sure you come out and you see us out there performing with all the rest of specialty out there.
Awesome, and I know you guys have been training this summer.
Yeah, we have been going over training and getting them prepped and everything. So we make sure that they are actually taught right and trained safely, so that way out there they know what they are actually able to do and to guide the crowd how they need to.
Awesome, I heard you guys put together a video for us.
Yeah, we did.
It feels nice getting everyone back together. I know a lot of us have kind of been like separated. Some of us are up in Modesto, some are here, some are at Knott, some are at other places, so it's good getting back with Dark Harbor now that it's announced that it's official coming back, so it's good having that like new life back in us. And yeah, it's cool seeing like a bunch of people just getting ready. That's all we've been doing, that's all we're gonna do, and that's how it's gonna keep going. We're just gonna get ready for haunts.
Whoa! Come see the Dark Harbor Slider Show this fall. We'd like to invite up to the stage the experiential writer and director, Ted Doherty.
Ted, thanks.
Hello.
Thanks for being here today with us. Can you tell us a little bit more about your background and how you've been involved in Dark Harbor in the past?
Sure. Well, hi everybody. But yeah, I'm a writer and director for large-scale Halloween events and attractions, primarily at theme parks. But that my past has allowed me to work with some great companies like 13th Floor Entertainment Group as well as Dark Harbor. But I just really want to say this really quick. I've known Amy for many, many years. Amy is a very, very dear friend of mine, and so I will always jump at the chance to work with Amy. And Brett,
Thank you, Ted.
I've known you as pretty much as long as I've known Amy, but we haven't had a chance to work with each other, so we thought, hey, this might be kind of a fun opportunity to do this. But I do have a past with Dark Harbor. I worked very closely.
Sure do.
I worked very closely with industry designer John Cook in reimagining Dark Harbor in 2018 and 2019. So I'm very familiar with this event because I wrote all of those reimagined attractions. He designed them, I wrote them, and we worked on the creative together. And so fast forwarding now, it's been such an honor because basically what has happened is I have worked very closely with the team here and wrote the overall narrative for Dark Harbor 2024, and wrote all of the attractions for Dark Harbor 2024, and so I'm passing that off to the very capable hands of Brett and Amy and their amazing team to really bring all of that stuff to life. But you know what? It's kind of tough because, all of these different attractions, when you're working on them, they kind of become a part of you. And so, looking back and thinking back at the different attractions that I've worked on for Dark Harbor in the past, there is one that it was very special to me, and it was one of the higher rated attractions that we reimagined in 2018. It was an attraction named B340. Does anybody remember B340? Yeah, I've been going to Dark Harbor for years before I was ever involved, and Shipwreck before that. And, I never knew what these letters and these numbers, like what B340 was. And so it wasn't until I became involved that I found out, B340 is reportedly the most haunted stateroom on board the Queen Mary.
The most haunted hotel room in the world.
In the world, there you have it. And so the B340 attractions kind of revolved around a character named Samuel the Savage, who murdered several people on board the Queen Mary, was apprehended, and then locked up inside of his room, B340, where he mysteriously died. Now, before I was ever involved, the B340 attractions, before kind of really focused on Samuel's psyche in this kind of psychedelic, scary way. But when we heard these ideas and kind of looking to reimagine it, we thought, well, what if Samuel was driven by some sort of evil entity that drove him to kill all of these people? So we liked that. And so we set that attraction in the 1940s in this kind of film noir type of vibe and turned the ship into a crime scene. And we followed the path of the lead investigator like a gumshoe as he uncovered the secrets behind B340 and Samuel the Savage. Fast forward all these years later, B340 no longer exists as an attraction on board the ship. So we had to really kind of start from scratch, but we wanted to continue telling the Samuel the Savage story. So we kind of thought, well, what if Samuel actually lived and was, again, apprehended and taken to a local prison at a nearby seaport? And so for a new attraction idea, we thought, well, let's set this still as a complete continuation to the 1940s. That film noir type of vibe still continues as we follow this next chapter of Samuel the Savage. But as you know, he is driven by some sort of evil entity, and there is no prison, there is no seaport that can contain him, and that is what you will be stepping into in a brand new attraction we've named Breakout.
We interrupt your regular programming to bring you breaking news. Samuel the Savage, the notorious murderer, has escaped custody. The public is warned that he is considered extremely dangerous.
So Breakout is one of our brand new mazes in the harbor. It's set in that English village that's out there. And we are not only taking advantage of all the original architecture, but we're building some really big sets and set pieces that will be part of this experience. So that'll be one of our new mazes. And as Ted said, it continues that story. So taking the story from the past and continuing to tell it.
Sam the Savage will be dragged off the ship nightly during the maiden voyage launch and taken to this prison. So we hope that you come step inside Breakout, see if the prison contains Samuel the Savage. Ted doesn't think so. And see if you'll be safe in Breakout. You guys probably saw a new character, a new icon that we recently revealed. Let's show them one more time.
Ted, what can you tell us about the new character, the surgeon?
Well, this was pretty simple. Brett, Amy, you came to me and said, hey, we have this idea for this kind of evil doctor. We want to do something with that, maybe an attraction around like a hospital type of idea. But there wasn't much beyond that, so we collaborated on some ideas of what would make this doctor so evil. So I went to work on it. I named him Dr. Edwin Masters. He is a sadistic, torturous beast of a human, conducting horrible, unnecessary experiments on the third-class passengers of the Queen Mary, all under the guise of scientific advancement. And so in this new idea for an attraction, you will witness some of those horrible experiments firsthand, and you will also see where the bodies are being stashed in the dark underbelly of the Queen Mary's lower decks, because this will be on board the ship.
It'll take place on 3 decks of the ship on the Queen Mary. So this is a great big maze with lots of blood, lots of gore.
And we're really excited to show you the darker side of Dark Harbor.
Yes.
I think we didn't mention, but you might have seen that the surgeon has a very beautiful accomplice. That's all we're going to say about that today. Ted, thank you so much for your writing on Dark Harbor 2024.
Thank you,
We're excited for you to see Infirmary, one of the new mazes on the ship this year. There's so many more things we could tell you about Dark Harbor. But this is what we got for you today. We do want to let you guys know, as we welcome up all the panelists back on the stage, we want to give you a chance. We're for Midsummer Scream. We're reopening our pre-sale. So please scan this now. It'll be open for a limited time. So don't sleep on this. Scan this now so you can get your discounted tickets. Come see us at Dark Harbor this fall.
And you can also join us tomorrow at 3:30 for the 13th Floor Entertainment Group panel. We'll be talking about all 4 of our big events here in Southern California, but we will be dropping some more reveals for Dark Harbor, so make sure you're at that panel, and make sure you stop by our booth. Queen Mary this weekend is letting anybody in with your wristband for free, so if you haven't been on the ship or want to go back, that's another great opportunity this weekend.
Let's thank all of our panelists, and folks, this is your 2024 Dark Harbor panel! We'll see you this fall on the ship.
And thank you very much, everyone. That is 13th Floor and Dark.